A $1 jar of pine tar can erase your full human scent. A single thin coat on your boots breaks a deer nose in cold air. Old whitetail hunters used it for well over 100 years. Modern outdoor culture buried this cheap field trick on purpose. Because a $1 jar threatens an $80 scent spray, and a broken scent trail ruins the whole gear subscription model. This is the forgotten pine tar method the industry tried to erase. What you are about to see was common sense in 1900. Today, almost no modern hunter under 40 has ever heard of it. That is not an accident. And it is not just market evolution. It was a deliberate erasure driven by dollars and shelf space. Welcome to Lost Hunter, the channel that digs up old fieldcraft. If this buried knowledge matters to you, subscribe and hit the bell. This is where we bring lost whitetail methods back into the open. The year was 1892 in the northern Maine timber. A trapper named Elias Crane worked the cold spruce ridges alone. He tracked bucks through frozen swamp lines before first light. His secret was a small tin of pine tar pressed from fresh stumps. He rubbed a thin layer onto his wool pants and leather boots. The sharp resin smell covered every trace of his human body odor. He killed mature bucks, while other hunters went home empty-handed. His journal describes cold mornings with frost on his mustache. It describes bucks walking straight past him at 10 short yards. It describes his boys learning the tar trick by age 12 years. By the 1920s, every northern trapper carried pine tar. It traveled from Maine to Michigan inside a small canvas pouch. It reached Pennsylvania deer camps before the First World War. It spread into the Adirondacks with the logging crews of that time. Old logging camps made their own tar from pitch pine and birch. Hunters treated it as common sense, not a secret or a shortcut. Records from the Adirondack Museum confirm this widespread use. Old Fur Trade Journals list pine tar beside salt and black powder. Regional hunting clubs printed recipes in their early newsletters. It was never rare. It was never mysterious. It simply worked. Then something slow and quiet happened across the outdoor market. Synthetic scent sprays arrived in the late 1980s. Magazines pushed them hard. Store shelves replaced tar with plastic. Full-page ads framed pine tar as backward and unscientific gear. Pine tar got reframed as something only old-timers still used. Scout manuals quietly deleted the rendering process from pages. Outdoor writers stopped mentioning it in their fall season pieces, and a $1 solution was quietly pushed off the shelves. This video is only the surface of what they tried to bury for good. I collected everything, modern outdoor culture erased from memory. All of it lives inside the complete forbidden hunter's vault. Ghost scent methods that make bucks miss what they should detect. Silent stalking mechanics old whitetail hunters used without words. Blood-trailing skills most modern hunters never learn in a lifetime. Forgotten whitetail funnels that still move deer every single fall. Invisible camp setups that keep your pressure off the timber. Dead wood firecraft that expensive camp stoves can never match. 8 powerful modules in one place, with 0 filler and 0 fluff. The full link sits waiting for you in the description below. But stay here with me. The real proof starts in the next breath. So how does a $1 jar actually beat an $80 spray? The answer sits inside the chemistry of a whitetail deer nose. A buck processes almost 300 million scent receptors. A human being carries only about 6 million in the entire nose. That means a deer reads the wind 50 times better than you do. A whitetail reads layered scents the way you read a printed page. It can separate 4 distinct smells drifting inside one breeze. Studies from Mississippi State University confirm these numbers. Their whitetail research lab tested scent detection for years. They found bucks isolate human scent from 9 different compounds: sweat, breath, skin oil, soap, laundry detergent, fabric softener, deodorant residue, old boot leather, and even yesterday's coffee. Each of these leaves a signature the buck reads instantly downwind. A deer does not smell you once. It reads you like a list of crimes. Every one of those signals builds the alarm inside its brain. That is why scent-free sprays fail when your sweat breaks through. The commercial industry never solved the real source of the problem. It only sold you a mask that vanishes the moment you start walking. Pine tar solved the real source in 1800 without a lab. The old trappers figured this out by watching deer for 30 years. They did not need a study. They had a full season of clean proof. Every fiber of clothing holds traces of these invisible chemicals. A deer smells all of that from 300 yards downwind. Your laundry detergent can give you away before you step outside. Your coffee breath can mark a stand you cleaned for 3 weeks. Your wool hat absorbs house smells and carries them into the timber. Serious old hunters stored their clothes outside for the whole week. It is also why they rub tar on boots right before the walk-in. Timing was part of the method, not just the material itself. Now compare that reading system to a dense resin like pine tar. Pine tar releases heavy terpene molecules that flood the air close. These molecules overpower light human volatiles inside 10 feet. Think of it as shouting over a whisper in a quiet forest room. The deer still detects something, but the signal is pine and tree. That reading matches every other smell the forest already carries. A buck does not alarm on tree resin because the timber is full of it. That is the genius of the method the old trappers figured out first. The University of Georgia tested similar natural masking agents. Their results showed terpene coverage beat most commercial sprays. 1 jar of tar lasts an entire season of cold weather hunting. 1 bottle of commercial scent spray lasts maybe 2 short hunts. The math alone tells you why the old method got buried fast. 1 jar covers 40 hunts. 1 bottle covers maybe 3 hunts. Across a 10-year hunting career, that difference is brutal clear. If you made it this far, you already know more about real scent work than most modern hunters ever will in their entire lifetime. Subscribe and share this with any hunter who still trusts fieldcraft. And remember, the full vault is waiting for you in the description. Now stay with me, because the next part explains the real burial. So why does almost nobody in the outdoor world talk about this? Why did pine tar vanish from store shelves and magazine pages? The scent control industry pulls in over 400 million yearly. That number comes from outdoor industry trade reports online. A $1 jar of tar destroys that entire revenue pipeline. You cannot patent pitch pine. You cannot trademark tree resin. You cannot build a subscription around something a hunter renders. You cannot mark up a method a man can make with a campfire alone. So the method got mocked, ignored, and slowly pushed out of print. Hunting magazines stopped running pine tar articles by late 90s. Gear catalogs replaced it with foil pouches of synthetic formula. New hunters grew up never hearing the word tar inside a deer camp. Hunter education courses dropped it from their standard reading list. Outdoor TV shows built entire seasons around the new spray market. Every ad break reinforced the idea that chemistry beat tradition cold. The knowledge did not die from failure, it died from pure profit. And that is the part that should make every real hunter angry today. Every dollar spent on synthetic spray is a vote against real sense. Every dollar ignores the trappers who actually lived by the method. Here is exactly what to do with this buried method this season. Take a small tin of pure pine tar from any feed or tack store. Warm it slightly between your palms until it turns soft and workable. Rub a very thin coat along the outside of your hunting boots. Add a light swipe across the cuffs of your pants and coat sleeves. A pea-sized amount covers each boot and cuff with plenty of margin. Never coat your gloves or your face because the smell gets strong. Store the tin in a sealed bag inside your hunting pack between trips. Refresh the coat once every 3 hunts as the resin slowly wears off. Walk your stand approach from a downwind angle before first light. Cross damp ground when you can, since moisture holds the resin longer. Avoid brushing against dry oak leaves which strip the tar off fabric. The resin cloud sits low around your legs and rises into the brush. Deer reed pine, spruce and cedar smells as normal timber background. Your human trail gets masked inside a natural forest scent signature. One hunter in Vermont reported 11 bucks within 40 yards. All of that from a $2 tin and a clean wind direction. Compare that to the average scent spray which fades in 90 minutes. Compare that to ozone generators that cost $300 each. The cheap tin wins every single time a real cold front rolls through. It also wins in light rain, where most sprays wash off within an hour. It holds up through sweat on long walks into the backcountry stand. A cold front brings wind shifts, and tar keeps masking through them. Honestly, there is one limit worth knowing before you try this method. Pine tar is strong, and some hunters find the smell too much indoors. Store it outside or in your truck, never in your bedroom or closet. It will stain light-colored gear, so wear only dark wool or canvas. It is not a magic cloak. Wind still decides most of the actual hunt, But paired with clean wind, it is the closest thing to a ghost trail. This is the knowledge that modern outdoor culture deliberately erased. It did not die in the timber. It waited inside old fur trade journals. It waited for someone to carry it back into the deer woods again. It waited for hunters who still believe skill beats shelf price. It waited for the ones who read the wind before reading a catalog. If this video reached you, share it with one serious whitetail hunter. Every share keeps one more buried method alive for the next season. Every share tells the industry that old knowledge refuses to die. Every share is a small act of preservation against silent erasure. The full vault of forbidden fieldcraft waits in the description. 8 modules of buried methods, 0 filler, 0 modern fluff. The next lost method opens soon, and it cuts even deeper than this. The next buried truth changes how you read a whitetail trail forever. Old knowledge never truly dies. It simply waits for hunters like you. It waits for the cold morning when a real buck walks past at 10 feet. It waits for the moment you realize the old ways actually worked. That moment is what this channel is built to bring back to the timber. Welcome back to the tradition. Welcome back to real whitetail work. The tar is waiting. The woods are waiting. The next hunt is yours.